if I saw another day, only to scream into the night. Nothing ever tries to change, even if I want to realize. 'Cause I've been sitting here, same old ways, taking off without the same mistake. Darling, will you go away? Won't be as simple for you.
Yo guys, it is Old Man G here, back again with, well, I guess the last live Premier League match preview of the season. It's been a long season. It's been a great season, and thank you guys so much for those who've got involved. I apologize, I've not been streaming as much. I have quite a busy life outside of here, but I do try and keep these up to date, and I especially want to cover this last game of the season. Shout out to everyone who's watching in the comments. T-Von's Gamer, really appreciate it. That music was a pulsing. Sorry, I will try and change the video. Maybe it wasn't that great, but we'll see what it is. There's going to be a lot of new changes on this channel, I think, going forward into next season. As I said, a lot of things regarding obviously covering other teams, watch-alongs, live streams, obviously new graphics and things and stuff like that, as I try and just sort of adjust things on the channel. But remember, guys, if you're new to the channel, to like, share, and subscribe to Red Devil Studio. Follow us on Twitch United X and smash that notification button for the latest Manchester United news and more news. So it's the last game of the season, guys. It is the last game of the season. It is our Wolves versus Manchester United match preview. It's our last away game from home. Shout out to Daniel Henkel. Big up Red Devil Studios, man. Thank you so much, buddy. No hate, man. I was joking. Well, I appreciate it. I appreciate it, guys. It's the last game, so it's sunny outside, positive feeling. Yes, Manchester United did not win the league. Yes, we've secured second place, but I want to be positive. I want to bring the positivity here. So Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has said that we're going to have a lot of changes to this game. So I think we're going to see a lot of youth and experience coming to this team. Now, ironic enough, you don't see that in the lineup that I have in front. I'm going to go and talk about them in a second. But before we get into it, I really want to go through a few key things from Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's press conference I think were important to actually sort of bring up. And make sure, obviously, get involved, guys. Like the video as well. Ask me your questions. Hopefully it's going to be a good stream. Jono69 says, looking forward to having you on Rival Side TV for the Europa League watch room. Yes, bro. Yes. Thank you for reminding me as well. Make sure send me a message just the day before, just to remind me, because I do have a forgetful memory, man. So, but yeah, thanks for inviting me, and I will be there. So yeah, just a few things regarding Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's press conference. Obviously had it yesterday. I think one of the big things to come from it, I'm not going to share the page, but just to discuss it, is that it's essentially been confirming. He was asked about Harry Maguire's fitness, and regarding Harry Maguire's fitness, says he's walking, but it's a long way from walking to running. So to be honest, I don't think we'll see him in Gdansk. No. So that pretty much confirms that Harry Maguire is not going to be part of the he's not going to be part of the Europa League, and that's a big blow, I think. I mean, for all the banter that Harry Maguire has gotten this season, and there's been a lot of it. The reality is that, like, when you look at the last couple of games, we clearly missed the guy. I mean, okay, yes, against Leicester City, 2-1. I mean, we were playing. I mean, to be honest, I make an argument that we played better against Leicester City with 10 changes than we did against Liverpool with our first team, which is a bit worrying. But it is what it is. Obviously, we're 4-2, and then obviously our draw to Fulham again did rubber. Personally, all things said and done, I'd much rather have a situation where our players are fit and injury free going into the Europa League game and give it all, they will then potentially go hard in this Wolves. I don't expect the players to go hard in this Wolves game. There's nothing really to play for. If anything, to be honest, the games, really, most games in this last game season are irrelevant. The only real relevant games are regarding Chelsea, Liverpool, Leicester, and possibly maybe Arsenal and Spurs regarding their UEFA Conference League, Banter League credentials. That's really all there is as far as what's relevant regarding this game week. So we'll see what happens. Maybe Jack Grealish can send Chelsea packing. Who knows? But yeah, it's a shame that Maguire can't be part of the setup. And I think maybe Ollie has to make a decision where do you go with like a Twansibi and Lindelof, as you can see here in the centre-back pairing, or do you go with the centre-back pairing that you want to see in the final? And I think he's going to probably put Bailly over Twansibi. Personally, I play Bailly and Twansibi instead of Bailly and Lindelof because they're both quick. They both got pace, position. I'd start those two. Lindelof just gets bullied all the time, and I just think that you're not going to get a lot from this guy. So it is what it is. I'm a Liverpool fan, my dad's a United fan, so I'm in the middle. Hope Man United win the Europa. Not sure that it is the Europa. Well, whatever I say about Liverpool, mad props to Liverpool FC if somehow, some way they still manage to get into the Champions League. I expect they will beat Crystal Palace, even though you never know. It's Roy Hodgson's last game of the season. I don't think you can completely rule it out. But I think that, it will be an amazing achievement given how bad Liverpool's season has been for them to still somehow manage to get into the Champions League. But there we go. Let's quickly just go through a few other things from the press conference before I get into the preview. So Solskjaer says that McTominay and Fred midfield duo should be okay for a big final. I mean, you want to go in loads of energy. We'll make a few changes for this. We'll freshen up things up. A few minutes into those who might need it. So basically, I think what that means is that I assume that Van der Beek is probably going to be playing in this game. I don't think you're going to see Fred and McTominay. I mean, the lineups are probably going to be out just over an hour from now, and they're probably being leaked. But you're probably not going to see Fred and McTominay in this game, but you are going to see Fred and McTominay in the final. You are. So anyone saying it's going to be Matic or Pogba, it's going to be Fred and McTominay in the final, playing together. Probably Bruno as well, and then Pogba's probably going to come on the left. You know that's what's going to happen. Some of the season, we're not where we aim to be, but we've got ambitions to move up one place. But there's been steady improvement. Third last season, second this season, some more points. We've done really well away from home. We know we had a difficult start season, losing the first 6 games, and loads of them were home games, which put pressure on the team. The players have been very good. And that is something that needs to be addressed. We need to stop losing home games and dropping points at home. That's been a major problem this season. And, you can make an argument that, you beat Crystal Palace at home, those first 3 games, and you don't know what's going to happen with this United team. So that is definitely something that I think needs to improve, and hopefully it does as Solskjaer goes into his 3rd season. Is he going to be backed? Is there going to be strength, going into the season? I don't know, because this is a do or die, I think, going into the 3rd season. He could end up progressing and pushing his team further, or he could end up like Jose and his team regresses, and hopefully it's not that, because we can't have another rebuild. Team versus Wolves. So of course he wants to go into finals and he wants to get so he's going to rotate. He did say he's going to give Maguire until Tuesday night and last training to see if he'll be out there. Personally, for me, whatever you say, what I would say is that, bro, just don't. There's not really much point. What's the point? If he's injured, if he can't play, the Europa League final is next week, effectively. What are you doing? Just let him rest, let him recover. Don't rush an injured player back. And then much like, I think, was it Harry Kane, I think, when Spurs had a similar situation. He was awful. He was garbage in the final because he was rushed back too quickly. So I don't want to see that scenario with Harry Maguire. If he can't play, just give Bailly and Lindelof, if you're going to play them, or Bailly and Twan CB game time to build their partnership so they can be ready for the final. That's what I would do anyway. Anyway, okay, so a bit of matter, no interest, social improving as a manager. A bit on the transfer strategy. Of course, we're planning as we normally do. That's an ongoing process. We're looking at the squad, and I hope we're going to strengthen with 2 or 3 players. Okay, so Ollie, it's clear. Ollie wants 2 or 3 players to strengthen his squad. Simple as that. Whether he'll get 2 or 3 players to strengthen his squad is another matter entirely. But that's certainly what he wants, you know, at least. Yeah, players of interest. We're still too far, but yeah. So we're looking at the squad, and I hope we're going to strengthen with 2 or 3 players. We don't need to try and try up the table. We're still too far behind to think it's going to come by itself. We've had a few players on loan that might come back in. Okay, so that's your... So bearing in mind, I think people have forgotten that Dallo is still here. Pereira is still here. Lingard is still here. Obviously, you've got likes of Gunnar and Chong, etc. on loan. So I think for some of these key players, you know, a decision has got to be made. You either reload them again. I think some players can be sold. I think Jesse Lingard, out of all those players I mentioned, I think Jesse Lingard can probably get the biggest fee, and there's the biggest negotiating chip, I think. Certainly with West Ham and a few other teams interested. Mata probably comes in there. There's still a bit to get from him. Matic probably, you know. So, yeah. But as he says here, you want to go on the transfer window strength. It's difficult to say. I can't see too many outgoings. So how many outgoings, you know, and this is part of the problem with Manchester United to a certain extent, is that what the outgoings, you know, why is it that it's so difficult for us to offload players? And the reason is because of their salaries. But we need to offload. We need to shed this team. Dallo, gone. Pereira, gone. Mata, to a certain extent, probably needs to leave now. Matic probably needs to leave now. You know, and then, okay, maybe you loan out the Chongs, the Garners, and so on, etc. So, but certain key players, maybe even Daniel James, if Sancho is coming in, you know. So we really need to cut this squad thin, and I don't know whether this club can do that, and that's the disappointing thing. Anything else? Okay, Martial, just to know something, that Martial is still injured. He's not going to be able to be available for the Europa League final, although Daniel James said is back. A bit about, and that's it. So that's basically the press conference. Let me just quickly move on to the preview or the promotion. They predicted 11 going into this game. Like I said, I don't think this is going to be a high run game or anything like that. I do think that this Manchester United team is going to essentially going to it's a dead rubber. I think I would probably expect this game to end in a draw, 1-1. I'd love us to win, and to be honest, the only real incentive probably going into this game really is just the fact of keeping an away record. So essentially, if we don't lose this game, we will have been unbeaten away from home all season, which I think is an incredible achievement to this Manchester United team. So not lost away from home, I think is a very good achievement, and fair play to the players and fair play to Ollie. You know, and it just goes to show that our issue has been at home. We've been terrible at home, and I don't know why. I literally don't know why home is not a fortress. We've been awful. So just looking at the starting 11 team before we wrap things up, I suspect that Dean Henderson obviously is going to be will start in goal. It has to be a decision as to whether it's going to be Dean Henderson or David De Gea starting for the Europa League final. I suspect David De Gea will be given the Europa League final. I suspect, given that he is the keeper there. So Henderson will come in goal. I think part of this rotation, you're probably going to see likes of Williams and Telles coming in. I think Wan-Bissaka will get a break. I think Luke Shaw will get a break. So that's why I think Telles comes in there. I think Brandon Williams comes in on the right, although he's not that great there either, but it is what it is. I think centre-back, you have Twan Sebe and Lindelof. I think you need to get some consistent. I mean, like I said, I would play the centre-backs that you're going to play in the final so that they get a degree of chemistry. That's what I would do, but I don't know whether Ollie would do it. I think midfield, I think you're probably going to see at least one of Fred and McTominay in. Van der Beek is probably going to play. Most likely he's going to play in the pivot. The only reason why I put Bruno Fernandes is that Bruno Fernandes is effectively our second captain, and he pretty much is wants to play every game. I don't know if someone Bruno wants to rest, and so I think Bruno will play. I also think Rashford will play, even though he shouldn't, because again, he's like Bruno, he wants to play. It's a possibility that maybe they will bring in Solskjaer and other youth academy products in, and that's a possibility. Obviously, Ahmad is there, so I have put Daniel James over Ahmad because Daniel James has been coming back, and Daniel James seems to be more of a pecking order than Ahmad, and maybe a shop window thing. So I think Daniel James will probably come back in. If he's not, then to be honest, if he's not, then probably what I would do is I'd put Daniel James on the left and put Ahmad on the right. That's probably what I would do. And then Mason Greenwood or Solskjaer up front. But I'm assuming, but Greenwood is fine on game time. I think he'll be okay. Lewis Cox said they are not playing the centre back. They're not playing the CB. It is Jones and Eric. If Eric, fine. I hope you're wrong about that, Lewis. I hope you're wrong about. I don't want to see Phil Jones in a Manchester United top ever again. Really, no disrespect to him, no disrespect to player. So yeah, thank goodness. Okay, Jones injured has been all season. Season needs to be so. He does, Jonah. Thank you. You almost gave me a heart attack seeing Phil Jones. Getting in. It is what it is. Mo says, it is true. Is it true Hannibal will get his debut? Not from what I've seen from the press conference. The last, I think, 10, 15 minutes I was talking about the press conference. I'll just summarize actually. But he is going to bring in a lot of. He said he's going to bring in. There's going to be a lot of change. He's going to bring in youth. I wouldn't be surprised if he brought in Hannibal. But at the same time, there are also players that need game time. So a part of me is like, where's this guy going to fit? I don't think he's going to completely drop. You got to play like a Van der Beek. You got to bring in Telles. You got to bring in. Some of the B team players like Williams, like Telles, like Twansibi, like Van der Beek into the squad. Possibly even a Matic, maybe. But you also have to shed that with bringing in youth. And so, yes, Alonga, for example, Langer could potentially come in or be on the bench. Ahmad, I think, should start. But again, Daniel James is back. And so I don't think Daniel James is going to start the Europa League. So, this is the problem. When you have so many players in to fit in, yes, we're going to get a new 11, but we also have players that are part of the squad that haven't played many games and want to play games and will be given the free. So Lewis Kirk says it is true. Oh, so where are you getting that from? Is that the leaked team? Because I think the team is from about 3:00, if I'm correct. So Alanga, Greenwood, Ahmad are the front three. Is that what you're thinking? If that's a leaked team, then let me know. Give me your sources. If you get leaked teams early, then I'd be happy for you to come on the channel and give that as well. So yeah, that'd be good. Joe Nixon says Hannibal and 20 player of the year and Shorty player of the year would be great to see them. Yeah, I think at the very least you've got to have these players on the bench. If Hannibal isn't going to start, then he needs to be on the bench. We can make 3 substitutions. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter if we win or lose this game. Although I'd like to obviously win. Or not lose, because it'll keep our away record in the Premier League pretty good. But we should be able to make these changes, to be honest. It's not the end of the world. We've got second place and that's it. So I think we need to, at the very least, give our young players some opportunities, rotate around as well, and at least have some gauging as to how we're going to set up for the final. Because like I said, I'd much rather, because Maguire isn't going to play, I'd much rather us play our centre-back pairing for the Europa League final, so they can have some chemistry, than put in some, if the Phil Jones thing is, it can't be true. It can't be. But, there we go. Raymond, shout out to Raymond Moore. Thanks, and thanks so much. Remember, guys, please like the vid, and share and subscribe to Red Devil Studio. It really goes a long way. But shout out to you, Raymond. Thank you. This is our last live. match preview for the Premier League. I am going to be doing obviously a preview for the Villarreal Europa League final. Plus, or maybe I might do a watch along. I think I might do a watch along. If I get a lot of work, I think I might do a watch along for that. And then we'll take things from there. But shout out to you, Raymond, long-time subscriber. Really appreciate it. And hopefully, when all my exams are set, I'll be able to do a lot more stuff going forward, which is pretty good. So the rest of the team explains for itself. That's what I predict. Although obviously, if Lewis Kirk is true, then Alexa Longa, I think, will probably play Ahmad and then Green with that. I think that's also reasonable. Rashford will rest, which I think would be really, really good. I still think the likes of Daniel James and Van der Beek will come into because they've not had much game time, and I expect the likes of Telles or Williams to come in as well. In fact, let me have a look at Facebook. Maybe there's a leaked team on Facebook. I don't know. If anyone's watching, if there's a leaked team, then let me know. But I don't see any leaked team on Facebook right now. Let me know in the comments who you think will finish top 4 of Liverpool, Leicester, Chelsea, because those are the games I'm going to watch this game. But obviously, I think that's where the drama is. You know, I feel bad for Leicester. I wish that they could get top 4 over Liverpool or Chelsea, but they need to spank Spurs to do that. Twitter. Oh, if you put the link in the Twitter thing, then let me know. Maybe that's a leaked team. Maybe that's a leaked team. But you know, I mean, what I would say is that if Phil Jones is playing, then that he must be playing at least for a move out the shop window. That's the only reason. Like if he's playing, fine play. If it means that, you know, a team is going to be like, yeah, you know what, we're going to take Phil Jones, man. We're going to take this guy. You know, he looks pretty good. Yeah, sell him to, you know, Real Betis. Fine, cool. It is what it is. And then my computer is really slow, so I apologize to everyone. Oh, Mark Goldbridge tweeted it. I mean, let's have a look. What's Mark Goldbridge tweeting? On the United stand, you mean? Let's have a look. I'm going to have a look at this. Let's have a look. Sorry, my computer is really slow today for some reason. I don't know why. So that's the Manchester. It's not the Manchester United Twitter page. You know, Phil Jones, I don't know how he survives. I really, really don't know how he survives. I just don't get it. Yeah, what I'm on the United stand Twitter now. What is the let's have a look. Oh, he's back. He's back. He's back. Oh, wow. Anyway. Fair play to him. I mean, fair play to him. You got to respect a guy who God loves a trier, and fair play to him. You know, and I wish him all the best, man. As far as the score predictions go, like I said, guys, I mean, now that Phil Jones is in the team, you know we're going to concede. Jimenez, I don't think Jimenez is back yet. I think he's still out. So, and I think that obviously with Nuno leaving, I think it just the problem with these types of games is that they don't really amount to much. So, if I'm honest, I think this is probably going to be a draw. I would probably say a 1-1. Even with the youth and stuff, I think the defense we're going to concede. But I think that, especially with the attacking changes, I think we'll probably get a goal, and I think we'll draw. So I think a 1-1. It's going to be laid back. I don't think we'll lose. It is what it is. Shout out to Phil Jones, apparently, who's back, potentially. We'll see what happens. Anyway, guys, if you're new to the channel, remember to like, share, and subscribe to Red Devil Studio. Follow us on Twitter, United. Smash the notification button. Here's Manchester United news. We are going to be doing a lot more going forward into next season. We're doing some community updates over the summer, just telling you my plans and stuff like that once exams are over and stuff. How we're going to take the channel forward, bringing people on, guests, etc., and just trying to expand the channel and take things to new heights. So thanks everyone for your support this season. Stay tuned for our match reaction, and stay tuned for our Villarreal preview and watch long. Have a nice day, everyone, and cheers.